Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. And if you don't know me, if you are new around here, we have been having a lot of new people around here. My name is Renata. I'm an English teacher for the past 15 years already. And we are here, MC and I, my partner, we are here to take your English from okay to the English that your career and your success demand. You know, the English that's going to unlock your professional dreams and goals. Let's say hi to MC, my dear partner, all the way from Canada. Canada. Yay! Hi, partner.
Hello everyone. Yes, I was not camera ready today. You know how things go, right? Yeah. So I'm
I
just
am
gonna,
filter ready.
yeah, put a filter on and that's gonna solve the problems at least temporarily. So yeah,
Mhm.
we're good to go that way. Yay.
Yes.
Good evening, partner. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. I'm doing really good. It's been pretty cool and, comfortable around here. The weather has changed here in Vegas, so it's been really nice after the 2 years of pretty much, hell. Hi, everyone. And as you
Hmm.
guys can see in the title, partner, as everyone can see, we are going to talk about something initially maybe hard and boring for most people, but that's not how we're going to treat it here tonight. All right, it's going to be a very 100% practical class with a zillion speaking exercises to help you really interject the ideas and start using adverbs to elevate your English. As you know, you may or you may not know, we are here to take your English from okay to the English that is going to take you places in your professional life. And by taking you places, I mean, and we mean, right, elevating your English. Being able to choose that formal, informal, really sophisticated, rich English, or more informal, simpler, more objective, depending on the situation that you are living. So yeah, we can see a lot of new folks around here. I introduced myself at first, but I'm going to repeat my name if you still don't know me. And from my experience, students tend to forget the teacher's name, so I'm going to say my name again. I'm Renata, and this is MC, all the way from Canada, right, partner?
Yes, and I'm not the teacher. She's the only teacher around here. I'm here representing yourself, the person who struggle with English and the person who struggles with English and that needs to face the fears and improve every single day. So, yep, I'm here representing you, and let's do the exercise together. And if you don't know us, we are also best friends.
Yes, we are. We have been for a long time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so what is going to happen today? We are going to then start the class. We're going to talk about adverbs that are going to make your English colorful and full of the three concepts that actually found our method. Are you frozen? Are you frozen for real?
Well, I just, well, my honest and
Speechless.
humble opinion is that I need to know how to do that too. Because all I
I'll teach you later.
know, I felt like an 80-year-old right now, not only surprised by what you did, but actually without a clue of how you did it.
Mm. I'll teach you later. I'll tell you how to do it later. Okay, guys, so let's get started then. The class of tonight is full of content as usual. It's about adverbs, but I don't want you to focus on just the grammar point. I think that grammar points are a way to get to something bigger, to get to something in the real world, something practical, which is improving your communication, getting people to understand you, getting people to open doors for you in the real world because of your excellent communication. And that's what we are aiming at today and every Wednesday, and actually every single day here at Fluent For Real. So what are we going to do? We're going to we're going to have a practical class about adverbs, Renata and MC, if you guys don't know us yet. And we're going to basically approach three topics. The first one, correcting a basic mistake. improving your pronunciation after that, and elevating your English as the third step. These 3 steps, let me just change the filter here because it's kind of
I
maybe,
hope this is a
okay.
filter and not something
Ooh,
like,
sorry.
I'm
No,
just
I
kidding.
just wanted to actually get it off. I don't want any filters anymore. Okay. So correcting, we believe in our the whole the path that we take here. We always think of 3 things that are our reference here at Fluent For Real. We want to help you make your English accurate, correct, clean. We want to make your English clear cut, objective and idiomatic, straight to the point and as clear as a blue sky. And thirdly, we want to make your English elevated so you can choose the vocabulary and the structure that you need depending on the circumstances that you're going through. Yes, we need formality. Yes, sometimes we have to show off a little bit of our vocabulary, use that amazing, colorful and full of detailed language, depending on what area we work in, depending on who we're talking to. So we have to be able to do that. So based on these 3 concepts of our method, of the ACE method, accurate, clear cut, and elevated, accuracy in the first topic that we're, like subtopic, we're going to correct a mistake that I see a lot of students make. Number 2, we're going to improve the pronunciation of our adverbs. Also something that I see a lot of people mispronounce because of a little detail that, I'm going to talk about, something that I will refer to. We're going to improve our pronunciation tonight, practicing, you guys at home. MC here to help you guys. She's going to, take the lead, but you're also going to do it at home. And thirdly, we're going to elevate your English by, after we fix the problems, we work on pronunciation, I'm going to help you interject those words that actually don't necessarily need to be in a sentence to make that sentence have a meaning. So adverbs are very much ignored and forgotten, and we end up being very basic. Our English gets very basic, and we don't know when to use it, and we forget about them. So I'm going to help you use that. I'm going to help you see the opportunities to use it and start interjecting that into your introducing that into your communication. So let's get started because we have a lot to do. Hi, everyone. Hi, Anderson, Flodine. I can see a lot of familiar faces around here, too. Also, the new faces around here. As usual, this live is on IGTV after just as soon as we finish, unless our dear Mark Zuckerberg will troll us and delete the class like he did last week. But that's not going to happen tonight, is it, partner? It is not. Come on, Mark, help us.
I don't allow that to happen. Who am I? But it's okay.
So, shall we go?
Yep, let's go. Let's get
Step
it started
1.
because I read here that someone needs to improve their English real quick. So this is the first step. Let's join us. Let's go.
That's what we're here for. Okay, so number 1, we're going to correct a basic mistake that I see happening a lot. In Portuguese, we have freedom to construct the sentence upside down, inside out. Subject, verb, complement. There isn't really that much of a rule, to follow. Have you ever seen jokes and memes about Yoda and Baby Yoda online? Yoda speaks backwards. I'm not a huge Star Wars buff, but I know that he does that. So he will do something like near me the sofa is, the sofa is near me the sofa is. He will do that. And in Portuguese in Portuguese it's even poetic, right? Perto de mim o sofá está. De mim perto o sofá está. Está perto o sofá de mim. We can do that. It makes sense. But in English, unfortunately, we don't have, or fortunately, because then we don't get so many variations. It's like, okay, we get the subject, we get the verb, we get the object, and then we get the rest of the stuff. So the sequence is supposed to be object. What's object? Like it responds question what? Like I bought what? A car. That's the object of the sentence. Place, anything that describes where you are, where things are happening. And the time, which kind of response question, when or what time. You know, it will depend on what it is you are referring to. So it's got to be that sequence. Are these the only adverbs that exist in the world? No, 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 no. I am just focusing on those because I know that you guys don't have all the time in the world. I wish my students only studied English and did nothing else in their lives, but I know that's not possible. And we are also always trying to get you to invest your time in what's actually going to make a difference for you. You know, you don't have to know every single topic, every little detail, every little rule. That's for a teacher, not for you. So we're going to focus on these three, which are mainly the problem that I see happening. And also other adverbs have more flexibility, like adverbs of frequency. They have more flexibility depending on, you know, how you use them at the beginning of the sentence. So these three, all right? Let's focus on these three. So just going back then, object, place, and time. Object, place, and time. Okay, I want you guys to help MC place these in the right sentence. Go.
I picked up a book yesterday.
Right. Why? I want to use something here. Let's see if I can use this counter. No, I cannot. Okay. I picked up a book yesterday. So I picked up. That's the verb. The book is the object. Yesterday is the time. So
Yeah.
there is no, I picked up yesterday a book.
Oh, and there's no place here.
Sorry?
And there's no place here.
Yes, there's no place, just the time. I picked up yesterday a book, you know? No, I picked up a book yesterday. That would be the correct order. Oh, but when I'm speaking, may I just say, you know, I picked up yesterday, you know, a book at the bookstore? Of course that's going to happen. Sure it is. But you are thinking and speaking and you're pausing. But if you're writing an email, for example, you don't have that freedom. You can't just, you know, turn things upside down, inside out. Next one. That's very yoga-like.
I drove by the office last night.
All right. Leandro seems to be having a problem with the audio. If anyone else is having problems with the audio, please let us know. All right. If there's an echo or anything like that, I can grab my earphone, but I guess, let's see. So yeah, so you guys can also write in the comments if you want, right? If you want to help MC. Okay, thanks, Arthur. Thanks, Anderson. Good, good. Thanks, Niziane. All right, good. The audio seems to be perfect.
All right.
So MC, could you say it again, please?
I drove by the office last night.
Okay, so I drove, that would be the subject and the verb. And then by the office would be?
By the office is where?
Where, and last night?
Last night is when.
When. So I drove by the office last night. That is it.
I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow.
Everybody at home, also, something that I always pinpoint to. If you're listening, great, but speak with us. Read the sentence with us. Repeat it. That's going to help you train your speaking. Teach your brain how to, you know, connect the words, connect the ideas, and make the myelin layer stronger and fatter in your brain cells. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's because you didn't watch last week's class and Zuckerberg deleted it. But I'm going to record it again because it was a really cool class with a lot of scientific facts to help us learn better. So yeah, so I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow. And as you can see, a good word for you is one element. I can't go, I'll put in a good word tomorrow for you. Because the expression is put in a good word for someone. Recommend someone. So I can't break that into two. I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow. Everybody at home, repeat with me, okay? I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow.
I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow.
Also try to mimic MC and I in terms of pronunciation, all right? Practice your pronunciation every chance you get. All right. Oh, sorry, I am.
We can see, no problem.
Okay, in Denver.
A new business was launched in Denver last year.
So let's go one step by step. A new business is the subject.
Yeah.
Was launched is the verb. In this case, passive voice. And then the place.
In Denver.
And then the
last
time.
year.
Last year. So everybody, let's repeat again. A new business was launched in Denver last year.
A new business was launched in Denver last year.
Amazing. Next one.
A problem occurred in the operational system this morning.
So first, the subject and the verb, a problem occurred. And then where? In this case, it would be like not a place, but a place in the operational system and the time this morning. So let's repeat again. A problem occurred in the operational system this morning.
A problem occurred in the operational system this morning.
So there's no such thing as a problem this morning occurred in the operational system. A problem occurred this morning in the operational system. Let's avoid switching that, unless, of course, as I said, you were speaking, thinking, you know what, a problem occurred, this morning in the, as you're thinking, but that's not really the rule. That's the exception. And we should learn the rule before trying the exceptions or knowing how to work with the exceptions. Native speakers work with the exceptions like that, but we don't have that much credit, unfortunately, for that. So number 2, we have worked on a mistake, correcting that basic mistake, object, place, and time. Now we're going to work on the pronunciation of adverbs. The pronunciation specifically of, let's see here, of, I'm not even following my preparation because I prepared it so well that I memorized it. And I've got the whole thing prepared. Okay, so most scratch that. Many adverbs are formed by adjective plus ly, like, fluent, fluently. So what happens a lot is Brazilians tend to ignore that y at the end, thinking that, it's like parede. The last e is not really pronounced, right? Parede. We don't really say that. The parede, we stop there. And with the y in English, that's not the case. We have to really pronounce it strongly. I posted a reels today about that too here on Instagram. Therefore, most Brazilians will pronounce terrible and terribly the same way, which means they're making a grammatical mistake when they are pronouncing the two words the same way. Also, the L, the Brittany L, has to be pronounced as well. Why? Have you ever noticed how, gringos, foreigners, they will pronounce the L, they go, livro. Você tem livro para me emprestar? They say livro, livraria.
And look at those eyes. It's not only about the L, it's also
livro. Livro, it's the face that I make, right? Livraria. So that L is the L that they're used to saying all the time. So it's not crazily, strongly, right? Strongly. It's not li, it's li. Li. Yeah, the Brittany lucky L.
Lucky. It's a longer.
L. Exactly. It's not, imagine that what we usually pronounce is like an LH. Like I say, folha, livro. It's kind of how we pronounce it. It's the same li. No, it's put the tip of your tongue behind your upper teeth, like not right. So all the adverbs are going to be pronounced using that L, that special L, and the Y, really incorporating the Y into the pronunciation. So let's take a look.
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So the first one, terrible. It's okay. It's an LE, right? I have to make the image a little lower. I'll do that. So terrible.
It's fine. Terrible.
Repeat. Terrible.
Terrible.
Terribly.
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 So what we have the L and the Y. Don't be scared of that Y. Don't say, she's terrible tired. God, how many times have I heard students say that? And no, you guys, don't be scared of that Y, right? Next one, occasional.
Occasional.
Occasionally.
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 Everybody repeat at home, you guys. Repeat at home. Think about what you're repeating. Train, focusing on what you're doing. It's not just repetition, all right? A volleyball player doesn't practice just repeating the techniques that he's supposed to repeat. No, he's focusing on that too. Virtual.
Virtual.
Virtually.
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 Simple.
Simple.
Simply.
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 Fluent.
Fluent.
Fluently.
Fluently.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Understandably.
Understandably.
That one is hard, right? Understandably.
Understandably.
Yeah. Oh, this one is the hardest one for most people. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Let's go syllable by syllable because I know this one is tough. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. One more time. Go.
See, it's just because I'm mimicking you at home. Just kidding. Unfortunately.
All right. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
That was my turn. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You don't have to say unfortunately. Teli. You kind of gather the T and the L there. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And can I say that unfortunately, I didn't close my lips as I was saying simply. Simply.
Yes.
Simple and simply.
Yes. If you are new around here, we have a lot of pronunciation classes in the earlier IGTVs. That's one of them. That's why she said that.
And you know what? Something else that I think it's important for us to highlight is maybe you skipped some classes, or maybe your Portuguese classes were too long ago, and then you're wondering, well, she's talking about adverbs. When do I use adverbs again? So just so you remember quickly here, if you're saying unfortunately, that's the how you were doing something, or you know, that kind of idea. Maybe I'm not the teacher, maybe you can rescue me.
That's it.
That is an unfortunate mistake, and unfortunately I didn't have a good night of sleep.
Yeah. I posted something about adverbs this week already, 2 things. I have a couple more posts prepared, and I was going to ask you guys, I think it's a good idea also to use this class to ask you what else you want to know about it. I'm going to post about spelling rules, about exceptions, irregular adverbs. Maybe the pure concept of adverbs can be something we can also refer to. Leave it in the comments if you would like to see a post about the concept. What are adverbs? You know, just to refresh your memory, as MC said, about what they do, you know, their function. That would be a good idea too. So going back here, let's work on sentences, all right? The ballerina danced terribly last night.
The ballerina danced terribly last night. Oh, poor ballerina.
One more time. The ballerina danced terribly last night.
The ballerina danced terribly last night.
Occasionally, the lawyers would drop by.
Occasionally, the lawyers will drop by.
Pay attention to mine and MC's why. Occasionally, the lawyers will drop by.
Occasionally, the lawyers will drop by.
One more time, MC.
Occasionally, the lawyers will drop by.
Virtually. Do you know what that means? Virtually means practically. It's not really what you think it means. Virtually in English means practically. So it's like this. He was virtually unknown before the election, before running for office. Practically nobody knew him. So he was virtually unknown.
So that's brand new information for me, okay? So he was basically virtually, you know,
He was virtually unknown.
he was virtually unknown before the elections.
All right. So, next one, simply, right? He simply won't accept the decision.
He simply won't accept the decision.
He simply won't accept it.
He simply won't accept it.
Understandably, this comes from the adverb understandable, you know, something that is easy for us to understand, you know, like, of course, I would do the same. Understandably, he did that. So, understandably, they were upset.
Understandably, they were upset.
It's saying one word, like, I understand why they were upset. Of course, they would be upset. So would I, you know, something like that. So, understandably, they were upset.
Understandably, they were upset.
And last but not least, unfortunately, I won't be able to meet you.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to meet you.
All right. Something else that we do here at Fluent For Real is practicing like that, guys. First, the smallest piece of information you can practice, like in these cases, the word, and then you put it into a small sentence, and then you put it into a paragraph, or you read a text that identify the adverbs and practice from that, right? Start small and grow. Start small correctly, train yourself to speak correctly, and then increase the challenge little by little. Okay, moving on then to practice pronunciation, as we are doing pronunciation of the adverbs, also transformation of adjectives into adverbs. So we're going to do two things now. If I say that someone is noisy, how does she walk? She is noisy. So how does she walk?
Should I repeat that?
No, you just respond now. Try to do that change. You know, if I tell you, oh, she's noisy, I ask you, so how does she walk?
So I'm not clear in terms of what I'm supposed to do.
Transform the adjective. Now, see, guys, there's no rehearsal before. She's really a student.
I'm really caught off guard here. Okay.
She is fluent. How does she speak English? She speaks English fluently.
Okay, got it.
Claudia is helping you there. Noisily.
Thank you. I'm like, what?
Right. So she is noisy. How does she walk?
She walks noisily.
She is angry. How does she respond? Everybody at home, she is angry. How does she respond?
She responds angrily.
Everybody again?
She responds angrily.
Angrily, exactly. She is incredible. How does she work?
She works incredibly.
All right, one more time, everybody. That's a tough word to pronounce. Come on.
She works incredibly.
All right.
You guys are doing a great job here.
Yeah, and the spelling. Great spelling. Right, Marco Florinha, great spelling of angrily and noisily. That's a special spelling, right? We have to remove the Y. So she is serious. How does she work?
She works seriously.
She is anxious. How is she waiting?
She's waiting anxiously.
Everybody, one more time.
She is waiting anxiously.
Anxiously. She is intense. How does she love?
She loves intensely.
One more time.
She loves intensely.
She is suspicious. How is she acting?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Sorry, if you are on TikTok as well, you're obsessed with this as well. So sorry about that. I had to say that. Can you repeat one more time, please?
She is suspicious. How is she acting?
She's acting suspiciously.
Suspiciously. Ooh, right. That's it. So she's acting suspiciously. All right, you guys. So moving on then to the third part of our class, where we are going to elevate our English and try to incorporate adverbs into our communication. Okay. First, try to think, and evaluate, assess yourself. Do you use adverbs frequently? I used it in a sentence. Okay, so do you use adverbs on a daily basis? Are you used to saying, well, that's incredibly amazing, that's incredibly new to me, finally we did that? Actually, are you used to using adverbs, especially adverbs of manner and degree? Look, adverbs of frequency, for example, always, never, sometimes, they are more necessary than other adverbs. Adverbs of manner, they just tell you, as MC said, how you do something, and degree, the intensity of something. So adverbs of degree, we have, I say very, very good, very bad, very interesting, very new. I say a little good, a little bad, a little interesting, and that's it. I spend the rest of my life with 2 adverbs of intensity, of degree. And no, we have so many possibilities of adverbs of degree to use right, in the English language, to make your English actually elevated. Also, adverbs of manner. How do you do something? Oh, she spoke to me, but she was very angry. Like she spoke angrily to me. One word, you go straight to the point. You go like really, really quickly and in a more idiomatic way and elevated way. We want you to elevate your English to the level that your competence is. How many people do you know, MC, that are amazingly competent, but then when they need to speak English at work, their competence is just hidden, shadowed by, barriers in the communication? Am I right?
Yes, and several people, more than my fingers can count.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So let's move on then to that third part of the class, beginning from adverbs of degree or intensity. They will give intensity to the action or to another adjective, to an adjective, or even to another adverb, right? Okay. It's like very or little. It's very good, it's a little good, it's a little interesting. It's, these 2 are easier for everyone to understand. So pretty much that's what they are. Let's begin from the first one then. Let's pronounce them just quickly. I'm not gonna explain. I'm gonna give you examples, and you guys. That's the second time the neighbor does that, and the first time I almost had a heart attack. Thank God it was the second
game
time.
Going on there or something.
You guys would have seen me like disappear or fall, whatever, because I got really scared the first time. Okay, so let's repeat that. Slightly.
Slightly.
Quite.
Quite.
Rather.
Rather.
Nearly.
Nearly.
Barely.
Barely.
Highly.
Highly.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Can you see that 2 here don't obey the rule of ly at the end?
Yes, quite and rather.
Different. Yeah, not all of them do. Okay, so you guys are going to help MC figure out which one is which, okay? If I say something like, okay, they practically don't speak French. They practically don't speak French. Which one can I use to substitute that sentence? I will give you some time. If it's too hard, I'll give you the one, and then you have to change the sentence. You have to do a lot. It's not just remove and put, okay? But that's the exercise. It's challenging. It's not easy. It's for you to rephrase, say the same thing in a different way. That's going to help you expand your vocabulary and elevate your English. So if I say they practically don't speak French,
I can say in different ways, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
I can say he barely speaks French. This is one option. Okay. And he doesn't quite speak French.
Beautiful. Great. Both of them are possible. And when you say he barely speaks, good job. What we do is we use barely with the affirmative, right? She barely speaks. Barely means almost not. I love that adverb because it's something that we can use a lot, but we usually don't. And it's very useful. Like, oh, I can barely cook. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to cook for you. I cook just a little bit, not enough, almost nothing. So I would go with that, or the other one. He doesn't quite speak French. He doesn't really quite speak French. So which one is more polite, do you think? Do you feel?
The quiet one. The quiet one feels very I don't know. I'm almost like fixing my posture here to say
Yes.
he doesn't quite speak French, you know,
Yes.
instead of the
You don't want to be rude.
barely. He barely speaks French.
Yeah, it's like, God, terrible French. And so that's the interesting thing about adverbs. I posted about adverb. Actually, I will post about that. No, I did. I talked about it. Adverbs bring mood to your sentence. Mood. What's the tone? What's the mood? Is it angry? Is it polite? Is it intense? Is it suspicious? Is it excusing the person for not speaking French?
Yeah.
They change. The sentence can be the same. They speak French. They don't really speak, I don't know, they don't speak French. So you're changing the mood of the sentence, and that says a lot in communication. The mood can change, your job interview. It can change a meeting, the decision made in a meeting, how someone is going to look at you and evaluate you, and
Yeah,
form a
and
first impression.
if you don't have that elevated English that Renata is talking about, you can easily offend someone without willing to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing the sentence, for example, the barely speaks French and he doesn't quite speak French, that can change how you're talking about that same person. That same person can be offended or not, you know?
Yeah. If you say to my face, you barely speak whatever, or you speak,
That's
yeah, you don't
criticizing.
quite speak that, right? Totally different. Okay, I'm gonna go back and forth now. They almost went out of business. They almost went out of business.
They almost went out of business. They almost went out of business.
Which one do you
I would choose nearly. They nearly went out of business. They
also?
nearly.
Yes, they nearly went out of business. Now, one thing that is also important about that adverb, I included it here because it's also not what it seems to be. Nearly is not related to distance. When something is near, it's physically near you, right? One of the ideas, of course. It's physically near you. And nearly has nothing to do with physical distance. It has to do with being, approximately almost happening, but not really happening. So we have they almost went out of business. Substituting, we use they nearly went out of business. Which one is more elevated? Definitely nearly. Almost is an everyday adverb, great to be used, of course, but nearly gives you.
Yeah, it never said, we're not gonna say it enough here and stress that point enough. Here we're not talking about right or wrong. We're talking about elevating your English, taking it that to taking your English to the next level that your career will demand or demands right now. This is
Yeah.
important for you to notice. Change those day-to-day words that you're already so used to using, and that doesn't translate how competent you are.
Yeah, that's for sure. Next sentence. They are very qualified. I have a thing with very,
Yeah.
I think that we should just take the week and go like, this week I'm not going to use very, and just do that exercise. They are very qualified.
Oh, we can use they're highly qualified. Woo,
Beautiful. I love
elevate your
highly.
English, highly qualified.
They are highly qualified. We can also say they are quite qualified,
Yep.
which wouldn't be so. Highly would be here, quite would be here, but it can also be used anyway.
Yeah, my dog
Um,
agrees, okay? My dog agrees. She said the same thing.
Donna, they were a little unsure before they decided. Let's repeat the sentence to help us memorize it. They were a little unsure before they decided.
They were a little unsure before they decided. Well, I guess I'm gonna choose and you can choose here with
Yeah, I
me,
can
okay?
see the highly, Isiane, Laura, also some little hearts. Thank you guys for the heart faces, emojis. All
Yes,
right, we have
I'm
another.
with Laura. She says slightly. So they were slightly unsure. I forgot the rest of the sentence. Woo. They were slightly unsure before they decided.
Great. So instead of a little, we have a beautiful elevated adverb to substitute that. slightly, which means a little. It's an intensity, right? A degree. That's like small, little degree, intensity. They are employers who dedicate a lot.
They are employers who dedicate a lot.
This might be a little harder. It's a little bit of a stretch here. Substitute, I'm going to give you a tip. Substitute the verb dedicate for a corresponding adjective.
Okay, got it. Go back to the options.
Oh, sorry. Too much to ask, right? They
well,
are
we can. There are
dedicate
different ways to say that, right?
Okay.
They
yeah,
are,
sure. Adverbs are, you know, there are, of course, more than one.
they are highly dedicated employers. This is one way, correct?
Right. So they are highly dedicated employers.
So Anderson is saying that a quite is also possible. So they're quite dedicated employers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
They are quite dedicated employers. All right. That can be done too.
Go back, please.
I guess.
They're definitely, but yeah, it doesn't. It's not the same idea, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's possible to say, but it's not the same idea.
Yeah. Definitely is like for sure, right? Something like
for
that.
sure.
Or like that. But although native speakers use definitely a lot, like young people, you know, like everything's like, oh, she's definitely coming, like, oh, she's definitely not, like, blah, blah, blah. You know, teenagers and young people use definitely for everything when they want to emphasize intensity. But that's not our goal here. They are people who stress a lot. Same logic. Transform the verb stress into an adjective.
Okay. Go back.
Oh, sorry.
They are highly stressed people.
Good. They are highly stressed people. What if I change a lot for a little? They are people who stress a little.
They are slightly stressed people.
Mm-hmm. They are slightly stressed people.
Or they barely stress in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, they barely stress. They stress a little. See, and when you say they stress a little, that's so much more basic than they barely stress. You know, they barely get stressed. You know, something like that. Fully stressed is fully stressed possible? Fully stressed. Let me just see. Sometimes, Marina, good question. Sometimes it's not about, it's just about the combination that is a little bit weird, you know? It's not grammatically wrong, but it would be like, oh, I don't know if I would see those two together. Let me just see. They are people who stress a lot. They are fully stressed people. When you say fully stressed, it would mean like they are 100% stressed. You know, they are completely stressed from head to toe. I would say it would be more of your way of putting it. You know, you are creating an image for me to visualize. From head to toe, they're stressed. Then something common just to hear. So highly stressed, extremely stressed, intensely stressed would be more common. Fully has to do with completely, quantity. So it would be something a little bit different, you know, but language is something so beautiful that you can always create your own way of saying things, as long as you know that it is your way of saying things, that you don't expect that people will understand you automatically because it's a little bit different from an association that a native speaker or anyone else would automatically make.
Yeah.
But yeah, highly stressed.
A great question. And good to see you here, Marininha.
Alrighty, so moving on then. Adverbs of manner. Suddenly, cautiously, reluctantly, quickly, promptly, gladly, easily, and fortunately. All right, these are the ones that I'm going to say another way of saying it, and you guys are going to type in the comments, and MC is going to guess which one I'm talking about. So let's go.
I'm loving that exercise, by the way. I'm enjoying that so much.
Yeah, everybody's gonna finish the class like, woo, what a workout, honey.
But it's not easy, okay? So if you're having a hard time to follow, take your time. It's just that it's a lot of work in your brain.
Okay, MC,
I'm back.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. Thank you, Laura.
It was
Thank
just
you.
my battery. I'm
helpful.
running out of battery.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, so let's go then. Thank God.
What?
Which one? Guys, thank God. We say that all the time. And what adverb would substitute for that? Thank God it's time to go home. Thank God.
Gladly. Fortunately.
Okay. All right. Fortunately. Okay, Laura also guessed it. See, thank God is so much more informal than, well, fortunately, we have good news. But it's the same thing. Thank God we have good news, right? Next one. With no difficulties.
Reluctantly.
Easily. Really.
Oh yeah, reluctantly, no. But easily.
Easily. All right, guys. Good. When you are careful, when you are afraid of something, how do you do things?
Cautiously.
When you are afraid, you do something cautiously. With velocity, with speed.
Quickly.
Unexpectedly. Surprisingly.
Promptly.
Okay, promptly would be okay, right? Like
suddenly.
Okay, suddenly would be okay,
Unpromptly.
But also I have as soon as necessary without delay. As soon as necessary without delay.
As soon as necessary.
As soon as necessary, like reaction.
Promptly.
Now we got the promptly one.
Okay.
Guys, I can see in the comments you guys are awesome.
Is there such a word as unpromptly, like I was saying before?
I don't think so. I don't
well,
think so. I would have to check because there's always like a possible opposite that we've never used, never heard of, but I don't think so. Okay, next one then. When you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. How did I do it?
Help me out here, people, because that was hard. My brain was like,
see out, guys.
Blue screen all over, like, purr. So say that again.
You don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. How do you do it? Because you don't actually want to do it.
Oh, reluctantly. Yeah, that's
Thanks for the help, guys.
Thank you.
Reluctantly. Exactly. And one more here. Okay, with a smile on your face.
Gladly,
right. So let's see here. Options, okay? Sentence. She didn't want to host the event, but she did.
She did it reluctantly.
Right, everybody? She did it reluctantly. My boss was happy to announce his retirement.
He did it gladly.
No one expected him to retire.
Suddenly he retired.
He retired. Now, guys, the last part of the class, the last exercise that I have for you guys is about bringing colors into sentences, and it's like freestyle rapping. All right, if you guys are ready, we're gonna put some colors into the sentence. Any adverb is possible. Doesn't have to be one that was mentioned in the class. You guys can put in whatever adverbs you want. Tip, look for a verb or insert one at the beginning of the sentence, like unfortunately, fortunately, finally, actually, all of those that can be inserted. So write your suggestions here in the comments, and I'll read them and check if they're right or wrong. Meanwhile, MC, you can give me yours too.
Okay. I'll start saying that Madison,
Elevate the sentence.
let's elevate this together.
Let's elevate the sentence.
Okay, I would say that Madison is quite great for the position. Can I say that?
You can say quite a great pick. You can keep a great pick there. You don't have to
Okay,
change.
Madison is quite a great pick for the position.
Is that good or bad news?
That's good news.
Okay, so include another adverb there.
So, fortunately, Madison is a great pick for the position.
It's quite a great pick.
Quite a great pick.
So, fortunately, Madison is quite a great pick for the position.
Okay, fortunately, Madison is quite a great pick for the position. Let me see how else.
Guys?
Freestyle here, people.
Freestyle.
Let me see. Give me like a second to think about it. Madison is a great pick for the position. Madison is a great pick for the position.
How interesting. Check this out. If I say, finally, Madison is a great pick for the position.
Oh, finally.
If I say that, you understand that I've been looking for someone for this job for a long time. You know,
it was a struggle to find the right person.
Yeah, so one little word is going to give you the mood of the sentence. It's going to change the mood. Next one there. Mark worked on an important project. So we have a verb, worked, and important, adjective. So you can place adverbs in many places. These are just two obvious ones.
So I can say that Mark competently worked on an important project.
All right. And how important was that project? Give me an intensity.
Mark worked on a quite important project.
Mark competently worked on quite an important project.
On a quite important project. Can I keep the A?
On quite an important project.
Oh, okay. On quite an important.
Quite is a bit special in terms of the structure.
It's not a quite. Okay.
Yeah. But it still is saying Madison is definitely a great pick for the position. Right. So you're just, reinforcing how great you think she is for the position. She is definitely a great pick. Awesome, Priscilla. Great job. All right. Mark worked on an important project. I would say, let's see here, reluctantly, Mark worked hard on an extremely important project.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have Marina here saying slightly important. So you're saying quite the opposite, right? It's not
exactly.
Not so important. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can say, Mark worked how would I say that? Effortlessly on a slightly important project. So he didn't make a lot of effort to work because the project was slightly important, not that important, We are, okay, reluctantly, Mark worked on a quite important project. Reluctantly, he did that also without really wanting to. All right, Nizan, good. On quite an important project, just change that sequence there. We are fortunate to be here.
Fortunately, we are here.
Oh, girl, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I created the sentence. So fortunately, we are here. Yeah, simple as that. We are fortunate to be. Fortunately, we are. We received incorrect instructions. 2 more before we go. This is the second to last one. Keep it up with us, guys. Come on, we're almost done. We received incorrect instructions.
Unfortunately, we received incorrect instructions.
Yes, unfortunately, that's bad news. That was someone's mistake. Unfortunately, we suddenly received let's see, somewhat incorrect instructions. Somewhat would be something like slightly, like kind of. So, unfortunately, we suddenly received somewhat incorrect instructions.
I'm gonna try hard here and maybe it's gonna be correct. We received carelessly incorrect information or instructions.
Carelessly incorrect instructions.
Carelessly.
Okay, you mean, so you mean that someone didn't really care about sending you the right one? So I understood what you meant. Grammatically, it's right, you know, as long as that's what you meant, like carelessly incorrect instructions. I guess there could be a better, instead of careless, maybe trying to think of another adverb. But anyway, but it works too. Last one, you guys. Joe should have made a better offer.
Oh my God, blank, blank, blank. Help me out here, people. Joe should have made a better offer.
You can go with something simple like much better. Much is an adverb of intensity.
Okay. But I want to use the fancy ly at least here. Unfortunately, Joe did not make a better offer.
You can also think about sequence. Those adverbs that we use with ly at the end that start the sentence, and they convey sequence. Initially, firstly, actually.
Great.
Actually is great too.
Actually, Joe should have made a better offer. Initially, Joe didn't make a good offer or something like that.
Right. So initially, Joe should have made a much better offer. Finally, like Pauline is saying here, thanks Pauline for the suggestion. Finally, Joe should have made a much better offer. Finally, Joe should have made a, let's say.
No. If we're using finally, we need to say finally Joe made a better offer, because then the should have it throws it off.
Oh, you mean like finally, like, oh, finally he did it. But you can also think like ultimately he should have done it, but he didn't. Like at the last meeting, for example, you know, ultimately
so
at that last meeting, he should have made a better offer. So ultimately. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for staying with us and coming, you know, watching this masterclass that was prepared with a lot of love and dedication to you guys. And please leave your like before you go. And I will see you, and MC will see you guys next week at 9 p.m. There are a lot of new people around here, and we are live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. with a very rich class with a lot of content for you guys, because we want to help you take your English from okay to the English that real life demands, that your job demands, that your future career goals demand. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, partner.
Thank you, partner. And if you're here Eastern time, don't forget 7 p.m., not 8 p.m. anymore. Daylight savings gone. Yeah.
Oh God, right. So new Eastern time for MC, 2 hours behind. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye. Thank you, Anderson. You're so awesome. Anderson has been with us, I guess, from week number 1, right, Anderson? Such a long time already. Thank you, Dudu, Chris, everybody who's a familiar face here, Niziani, also the new faces. Bye-bye, you guys. Thank you.